she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now, woo.
We're coming. Get our check.
Cheryl Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
Well, I think it was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your name. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips. Do your hair. What's happening, good people? I had to clean my camera off because I got my fake Chanel on, girl. Hold on. Let me put my fake Chanel. I gotta see my seed. We talking about Michelle Obama. We 179 episodes in before y'all can see these seeds. Hold on, sure. Wait a minute before I get. I know y'all like this food. Y'all know this how you know you from ghetto. Okay. That's what ghetto folks do. We got to show our little labels off. What's happening, blacks? It's me, your homegirl, Adosha Wright, aka Linguere Key Lolo, coming to you live and direct from Cleveland, Ohio. And then right over there, wrong finger. I done polished my nails. Y'all know who it is, right? It's the hair oracle, Cheryl Morrow. We got 106. What's happening? What's happening? We have 179 episodes, and we had to change everything at the last moment because the hair oracle said, order another round. It's about to go down. She said it's going down tonight. We're talking about Michelle Obama's natural hair conversation in our 3-part series, Stranger Things. You can't get more stranger than Michelle, the former First Lady Obama. She going ham. I mean, you might as well say she viral.
Basically.
I mean, you might as well just say it. I mean, who would have ever thunk it? But this topic was already burning me up. But I figured, we would finish our series and then we pick it up, But Cheryl was like, hell to the no, to the no. What y'all know about that hell to the no? What's his name? Bishop. I forgot his first name. Hell to the no. Y'all like them blues. Cheryl, they say they ready for this conversation tonight. It's gonna get a little heated. So the chat is ready. They say we here for. We got Kay, I know you ready. We got our virtual co-host Sandra. We got our homegirl LB. I ate some bologna this morning. I had some Eckridge. I just found out that Chrissy likes she likes Oscar Mayer. It's an LB thing. It's an LB Kilolo thing. Y'all know what I'm saying. They don't understand what's up, what's happening. I see you coming on through Eleanor. I had a feeling you might be wanting some of this smoke tonight. Look at Eleanor. I want to see what y'all idiots gonna say. Eleanor, you already know. Girl, Eleanor, when I bring out the fake Chanel, girl, I done went in my closet. I'd have found me some. Oh, remember back in the day when the Chanel chunky look used to be in? You know you old when you keep your stuff. This that costume, Chanel, Eleanor. You know your grandmama be having them little fake pearls. Well, when you from the hood, you got to get the fake Chanel pearls. Fall cues, like you don't know nothing about that. I'm sorry, it's a hood thing. I don't know if Eleanor knows. She might not be. Cheryl, you be quiet. You had real Chanel. I already, Mister.
By the time I could buy it, it was not out.
Mr. Sharp already put your business in the street that you was in Paris with Vidal Sassoon. She was in Paris with Vidal Sassoon. So we know that she knew. Look at her little, she got the real glitter hat on. You know what I'm saying? So she can't never perpetrate. You know what I'm saying? So we know you know about the real Chanel. Oh, look at Eleanor showing up. We're gonna talk about what the former First Lady did, okay? But it's going down, okay? Basically, we're this 179th episode is about her diatribe. She's been on every platform. The latest one is Tracy Ellis Ross. I don't know where they were. I should have looked that up. And so she just had this conversation. We're talking Stranger Things. This is our three-part series, and I do find it strange that the first lady would really, of all the things she could talk about, but I know what y'all gonna say. She didn't talk about that. She a black woman. These black hat issues, you know. If I was the first lady, I don't know if I'd be talking about that. As long as y'all got it combed, I really wouldn't give a flying flute fart. But I guess that's why I've never made it to the first lady. Those kinds of men don't like me anyway.
I don't get it.
Look at sure like we picked this topic. Anywho, we're gonna get into it. But before we do, we gotta talk about did you know MSNBC they changed it to MS now? Um what's going on with the media? The media is in a bad place when people are turning to social media and they're getting their information from podcasters and influencers. So what's going on with journalism? Sure, this your lane. I had a customer say to me she knew that journalism was in a sunken place when they were killing all of those the journalists, I'm sorry. And no journalist really went to their defense. I know the one guy, what's the guy who did the WikiLeaks? They went out their way for the WikiLeaks guy. Remember the guy with the white hair? I forgot his name.
They also went for Eric Snowden.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but after that, they was like, "Oh well, just die in Gaza." I'm sorry, I'm just saying. Yeah, I don't.
It's true. They. Well, let me just say this, because obviously everyone knows that my brother took over my role as publisher, and one of the things that I was trying to explain to them, when I came in back to San Diego in 2010, my job was to move it from a native print to the digital. And I did that, held it without scandal, keep your assets clean, make sure that when you pass them on, they're in the black, they are of value, they don't carry any, scarlet letter or anything. And I did that. And to the point where that was 10 years. And so, but and you already know, he's a hurricane.
He is like a hurricane.
And so there is, he's got the green light. But one of the things that we were dealing with is 2026 is our 40th anniversary of just that monitor, not the years that the Morals have been into publishing, but the monitor is 40. And one thing
that's how old I am. I'm 40.
Yeah, sure. And one thing that's important to us is that
look at Pat in the chat like liar, pants on fire. Hey Pat, I see you. Boss ladies in the chat, drop them L's. And my sister Pat, there she go.
Yeah, it's
up,
important.
Boo? I see you.
Yeah, it's just important for us to be able to understand. One of the things that one of the great DJs that worked for Mr. Morrow under XHRM, he said, those who control media, the narrative, the airwaves, the ink, controls a generation. And we have to make sure that we are vigilant on making sure that we support the journalists, the media community on the local level, state level, and national level.
I looked him up. His name was Julian Assange. I knew it was Assange, but I didn't know his first name. Yeah, Julian Assange and what was the other guy? Eric Snowden. Now they went to bat for those two, and he actually was released from jail. Remember, it was all over the news and everything. But all of those poor journalists in Gaza, and I think Sudan, where it's just gosh. But I don't know, but you're right, Kay. I do look good for 40. Rest in peace to all the journalists who are literally dying to get the information out. No pun intended. And to the other journalists, maybe y'all like, listen here, Kilo, you better stay over there and talk about that hair and leave this journalism situation alone. But anywho, I do think that, part of our jobs now in the beauty industry is coming from behind the chair and having these conversations, because after all, when we talk about the dumbest shit, and we do mean the dumbest shit, you can't get no dumber than this conversation about natural hair. And as you saw last Thursday when we had the president of the natural beauty culture of Nova Scotia, Mrs. Samantha Dixon Slaughter, just seeing the dangers of what happens when it's in the hands of the wrong people. And sometimes, journalists don't do their due diligence, just like other professionals. But we need people like Cheryl Morrow and Linguere to come in and set the record straight. And then we need you guys in the chat, because I put some wrong information out and people will come in. That's not correct. And we don't have a problem with that, because that's what makes us human, is learning and being open to be corrected. And so that's what this podcast, that's what makes this America's favorite podcast about Afro hair. It also fuels our passion and our responsibility, sure, wouldn't you say? I'm not trying to be funny, but as cosmetologists and barbers and hair professionals, now it is a part of our responsibility to get on these platforms and clear up and share and all that good stuff.
Yeah. And because some of us don't remember the fullness of Black hair care industry most times. Some of us know historical figures, obviously the obvious ones, CJ Walker and Madame Malone, and things of that nature, but they really don't understand some of the underpinnings of how things happen and how they come together and how trends, why or how did, the Asian issue and just all types of things that crown how these things are connected. And I just think, like you said, you feel a sense of responsibility, and so do I.
My boss and my boss, she actually, y'all know my boss. Come on, let me put a hand clap for my boss. I hope Esther comes through tonight. Seems like something that Esther T. John, she's our de facto producer, guys, would come through. But in the meantime, big up to my boss. We're talking about the lovely Mrs. She's not Joseph. All right, doing great things out here, making the world a much better place. After all, if it wasn't for Lavina, there definitely would be no Kilolo, at least not in this capacity. But she was the one who shared the video. So I'm going to share the clip that she actually shared with me. And we gonna go head on. We gonna do it, y'all. We ain't gonna even waste no time. We gonna go ahead on and hop into it. This 179th episode is about Michelle Obama's. She's been all over it. She's been talking about it for a while, a couple of years now. Michelle Obama, she's been on this diatribe about natural hair and what her experience was in the White House as America's first African-American first lady or something like that. All right, so I'm going to play the clip. And now, we know it's gonna get a little spicy. It's gonna get a little dicey. But we got to keep it 100. Okay, I'm just gonna give y'all that sensitive warning, because I know Michelle Obama is everybody's favorite. Oh shoot, we got Ronchina in the chat. What's up, Toy Oatmeal? We got ATL representing baby. All right, so let's go ahead on and let me play this first clip. And this is the one that my boss sent to me. And all I did write in the chat, and I was like, Michelle. And so we have some other school of thoughts. And so this one is first. So this is how it all got started. All right, here we go, Cheryl. You ready?
Yes.
Cheryl, play that, baby. Here we go.
And the decision to get my hair braided was primarily a continuation of that freedom. It's like a lot of people want to know, well, what do braids mean? What does she mean? Look, y'all. What does she mean? That's how white folks are. It's like, what does that mean? What are you saying? We're saying nothing except I just don't want to have to do my hair every day. And I want to go swimming. I don't want to have to worry about it. Let me explain something to white people. Our hair comes out of our head naturally in a curly pattern. So when we're straightening it to follow your beauty standards, we are trapped by the straightness. That's why so many of us can't swim and we run away from the water. People won't go to the gym because we're trying to keep our hair straight for y'all. It is exhausting and it's so expensive and it takes up so much time. Braids are for y'all so we can work harder and focus on the work. So why do we need an act of law to tell white folks to get out of our hair? Don't tell me how to wear my hair. Don't wonder about it. Don't touch it. Just don't.
I wish I had some cricket sound. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just gonna Michelle. I mean, I'm gonna start off like this, okay? What's up, Earth? I'm from the hood, and Michelle Obama's from the hood, okay? And we used to have, now if you're not from the hood, then you know, I don't know how y'all gonna feel it, but I'm gonna just say how we used to say it. To me, that's the epitome of you can take the ninja out the ghetto, but you cannot take the ghetto out the ninja. And I know why I can't believe you said and I'm gonna tell you the part that made me say, now you know that was some ghetto shit. All right. When she said the braids are for y'all, ain't no black person on planet Earth braiding their hair for no motherfucker plucking white people. Now I'm gonna pause before we got some more clips, but people going along with this shit. This some dumb shit. Okay, I'm getting upset already. Let me stop. It's stupid. I mean, that is so not true. I know my mother ain't braid my hair so white people could just, as Cheryl would say, soothe their neurosis. I don't even think white people care about our hair as much as we think they do, but nobody acts. I'm not white, so I can't say that. We need to get some white people on, which I'm gonna find a white person who's bold enough.
Well, it's not historic.
Your turn, Shirley. And y'all, I would drop the link in the chat, as a matter of fact, in case somebody, you don't have to show your face, but if you want to get in on some of this smoke, you don't have to agree with us. That's perfectly fine. But this is one of those conversations. What's going on, Graham? That we just need to have. And Cheryl, your turn. Let me shut up. Your turn, Cheryl. You go. I'm getting a little indignant now.
Well, what irritates me about intelligent women like Chimamanda and Michelle Obama and Tracy Ellis Ross, these women and others and professors, they know who they are. They are intelligent women and accomplished women in their own right. And what I am confused about is that why is the subject of hair and the science, the social sciences, talk about racism, class, power dynamics, obviously slavery and things of that nature, history. I wonder why they talk about it without knowing what they're talking about. I just, because what happens is that, I don't know if you guys realize that conversation is what created the most embarrassing piece of legislation that is supposed to serve Black people. I am totally disappointed with the legislators of the Crown Act. It is it's embarrassing, and but it's because of prominent women like her that keep this conversation in the most infantile, moronic, stupid, intellectual, lazy, the most lazy conversation we could possibly have. And that may be her experience. Could very well be her experience. And I'm sure it's not any different than, I would probably say, the majority of women. And even though it's your experience, doesn't mean that that is suitable to be on a national stage. And she has a huge platform because Michelle Obama is bad to the bone.
Michelle
Cold.
Obama is all that in a bag of grits. I'm not, but
But
that's it's
the
just
subject, oh no, stay away from it.
yeah.
In my
I mean, I we can't tell nobody, what to say, how to
obvious,
think, and all of that. So, I mean, like everybody, they're like opinions are like cell phones, right? Every single person is most certainly entitled to them. Whether you're the first lady or Kilolo or Cheryl Morrow, we do have the link in the chat. Like I said, if you guys just want to tap on and just share with us, some of your thoughts about, and it's just the extended conversations that are very misleading when it comes to this thing about natural hair. Now, I'm not about to romanticize whatever problems or qualms or issues that any person, whether they're white, black, but since white people seems to be the issue here, we just gonna, talk about it from that standpoint. I'm not trying to say that they don't have issues with our hair, but I'm gonna start off with this, and then we're gonna. What I want to do is play the clip and pause it, and what we're gonna dissect every single part of that, so you guys can see why this is, not so good. So first and foremost, there is this gentleman. I did um his name is Tad. Oh, let me get this right. Tad Stormer, and he is a historian, but he specializes in like revolutions and in America, of course, American revolutions. Okay, and I'll drop his link in the chat. Okay, and he has a short that's going on YouTube. I'm gonna see if I can get it uploaded, and he's talking about Ken Barnes has this new documentary out about what American history. And so, what Ken Barnes did to sensationalize his stance on American, history was he said that the birth of Christ and the American Revolution was like the two most formidable events in world history. All right. And I'm just drawing some parallels to Ken Barnes and Michelle Obama. Now, it might be just a little bit of a reach because here in history, you could argue, come on, Kilolo. And I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it on the chin. If that's, I'm not a historian or whatever, but I am a cosmetologist, okay? And we see the dangers of this type of rhetoric that the first lady is doing, how it's harmful to the women and men and children that we serve every day. Because if you think a person is coming to the hair salon just to get their hair did, get off the dang on podcast, because all cosmetologists and barbers and natural hairstylists will tell you that ain't why they showing up. Okay. So Ken Barnes, so he is critiquing how dare Ken Barnes make this comment, given, as Cheryl said, his position as a historian and a documentarian, as if all the incidents in between the birth of Christ and America coming into existence has, I mean, that's a big gap to take the birth of Christ and Americans, America coming into formation or its nationhood building process as the top two events. And so for Michelle Obama to take natural hair and kind of put this broad stroke, that is very troubling to me. And I would agree with you, Cheryl, giving her position as the first lady who is intelligent. And again, we're not trying to say, we all can't have a fall from grace, but that's going to be my take on it. And this is why I think that what she's doing to me is ghetto. I mean, and when I say, well, what you mean by ghetto? Instigate. That's what we do in the hood. I dare you knock this off her shoulder. Now, you may not be from the hood, so you might not know nothing about that. So I ain't talking to y'all because everybody in the hood don't get down like that. But I'm talking about the ghetto ones. And I know because I've been a victim of I dare you knock this off your shoulders. And so she's putting Afro hair on that shoulder. And everybody ain't in that fight. They don't have no might for it. Everybody in the hood can't fight. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the hood ain't ghetto, but that's the stroke, is that everybody in the hood is ghetto. And so she's taking that broad stroke on natural hair. No, and I know that's her opinion, with all due respect, First Lady, but that's my take. Cheryl, your turn. And then we're going to play the clip, and we're going to chop it up. What's up, Danny? I see you in the chat. I got my red lipstick on. I had a feeling you was coming in. Anywho, okay. Welcome, brother. Welcome. I see you, Yate, the Bomb Podcast. I rock out every Sunday with Yate. You ripped it again last night.
Oh, man, I got on all late when it was... when
she was okay. All right, from now on, everybody, I'm gonna go on live and say, "Come on, y'all, let's hop on with Yate." I got you, Yate. I've been put to the task. Okay. Anywho, Cheryl, your turn. Take it away. Now, again, if you want to give some thoughts, you can tap the link. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to, because some of y'all bedrooms might be a little junky. just teasing. But no, you don't have to put your face or your fake Chanel. You don't have to show your fake Chanel. I'm showing mine tonight. I paid $15 for this shit. Anywho, your turn, Cheryl.
She is known for having very provocative, innovative directives, especially when she is on the campaign trail.
Ooh, that do something did it for me. Ooh, she lit it up.
Yeah, yeah, and not that she has to do that all the time, but it sets a precedent of the level of her insight on what and how to move large groups of people. But when it comes to hair, and you and I have spoken about this many times, and I've told you, hair evens the playing field on intellectual levels for Black women. I don't care if they are a doctorate. I don't care if they are a physicist or an astro mathematician. When it comes to the hair, we are all on the same playing field. I don't know why. That our level of understanding and to understand the sensitivities of just blurting out things. And maybe it's because it grows out of our hair and we're women. And we think that there is no expertise, and maybe, we don't think it's scientific. We don't think it's worthy of very deep scholarly insight. Maybe we don't think that we should approach it in an anthropologic way or a scientific way, or even a social scientific sophistication, that there's a lot of moving parts in there. And she seems to be doing it in a comedic way. But because she can move us forward, and that's what frustrates me about women who misuse or don't really think about the implications of their platform. And especially and I always say, what hurts Black people, we make fun of it and we bring it into the world of humor. And it's a cover up for either what we don't know, or we're uncomfortable about it, or we'll make light of it. And I think that we're just past that. And because the dangers of that gives us bad legislation, it gives us bad policy, gives us bad lobbying, gives us bad conversations and dialogues with each other that don't go anywhere, that just kind of proves and embeds and immense and keeps imprinting us with the bad information, and it just doesn't move us forward as a people.
Mhm.
And when our language changes around who we are and how we look and our blackness and our African center in the world, how we talk about it is a indication that we are growing up and we're moving on, but we
Mhm.
refuse to do it. And it just frustrates me.
Yeah, and I think everything that you just said, it falls into, I was listening to Theophile Obenga, right? He has a lecture here, on YouTube, right? And the question is like, um, you know, why y'all keep talking about Socrates and all of them, went over to Africa to learn, what's it, philosophy, yeah. Why y'all keep saying the Greeks, y'all always talk about what makes Kemet, all African, all that and shit, and so he just said to a little bit like, what you're saying is that, education in Kemet during those times was to make you more human. It wasn't
Mhm.
about, oh, I have my PhD. I don't have a PhD, so I'm not even about to go there. Okay. I got my undergrad, I got that. I do have that. I got my high school diploma. I barely got that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not knocking that, but the education was about, that humanity. And you didn't really get a title as a teacher because you were always what? A student. So no one was ever ascertaining to become a professor or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? And so that kind of goes to me to your point. It's just some things. This is why our history is so important, and maybe why Cheryl and I are just so passionate. I ain't trying to act like I'm a direct descendant from Hempstead, but just reaching out. This is our nature, to use information to be more humane so that we can help each other as a collective. Now, white folks call it socialism. I don't really care what you want to call it, but I'm liking the word humanity. So when you learn something or you know something, you get to the level that any scholar, whether her name is Michelle Obama, Raquel Armstrong, shameless plug to my fairy goddaughter, or any other doctorate person that even a medical doctor, they will too tell you that it is all about using that knowledge to advance humanity versus, to me, what she's doing is a slight. Again, I would say it's a she's stroking that exploitation, because those people in that natural hair community. This is not insulting. Those are the most ignorant of all the people when it comes to hair. You can't get no more, and I mean in the truest sense of ignorance, not the insulting, stupid one. These people have no knowledge of what they're talking about, and their
I think
hearts
it's
are
more, I think it's
in the
more
right place.
cultish.
As my grandmother would say, bless her heart, bless her heart.
I think it's more cultish. It's cult. It is setting and obsessed and satiated and adamant about sticking to a set of beliefs that do not move the conversation along. And it
Think
doesn't allow them to have any additional. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say think Jim
What'd you
Jones.
say?
Now I'm serious, guys. Think Jim Jones. Think of a
Yeah,
cult.
yeah.
There's
Well,
so
think
many
MAGA.
cults. Like
Think
seriously.
MAGA. Think that,
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Think MAGA. Think the Tea Party. I mean, when you have these kind of closed and they don't let anything else in, and I'm not saying that if presented right with additional information or things that you and I would say to them or any other scholars would say to them, I don't know if I'm not saying that they would be closed. What I'm saying is that they have said it for the last 26 years. They have
Yeah.
said it and
Now,
said it and
right.
said it.
So let's get the chat involved. We got Mr. Usman Jawa all the way from the Gambia saying what's up, which by the way, we're going to be inviting him on to open us up with Auntie Dr. Joy next month and talk about the wonderful things that the One Vision Foundation is doing. And I think it's Guitarra. I hope I'm saying it correct. Usman, can you write where you're from in the Gambia? We're going to have him come on and talk about, by the way, all the money that you guys donated to the One Vision Foundation. He's going to update us on that a little bit as well. So y'all know they 4 hours ahead of us. So, you know, he's real dedicated hanging out. So thank you so much, Usman. It's just so nice to have you with us. So if you want to, guys, again, share some of your thoughts. I know you guys are in the chat like, this is very interesting. And so what we're just saying is that, you know, that you have a greater responsibility to yourself and, you know, just getting on that bandwagon and talking about natural hair like everybody else, it's just not very becoming of people who have that type of education. Like, why you know, that's like, anywho. So let's play the clips and let's dissect it clip by piece. Now we have to play it and stop, because it doesn't allow you to do that. So I'm going to start it and then we're going to pause. Again, if you want to share your comments, I'm sorry, Instagram, you cannot click the link, but if you want to, you can join us on YouTube. And if you want to tap the link and share your thoughts, you are more than welcome. So let's play it again. And Shirley and I, we're going to break this up and we're going to talk about why this is such a strange thing for former First Lady Michelle Obama to be talking about natural hair in this context. Okay, here we go.
And the decision to get my hair braided was primarily a continuation of that freedom. You know, it's like a lot of people want to know, well, what do braids mean? What does she mean? Look, y'all. What does she mean? You know what I mean? That's how white folks are. It's like, what does that mean? What are you saying? We're saying nothing except.
All right. So we're going to pause right there. So she said that her personal choice to wear the braids was just what the hell I want to do. All right. But then she went to the white folks. Now, sure, I'm a play instigator and put you in the hot seat, okay? Why Black people do that to white people? Did y'all catch it? I hope I don't have to play it again. I think y'all got it, but because we had that situation at the Afro Hair Science Summit at La Barberia Institute of Hair, and that's a barber college out here in Mayfield, Ohio. That sits on the outskirts of Cleveland, a suburb. And the Black people was in the class saying to the white people that y'all don't go through the things that we go through with our hair. Y'all just get up and go. This is why the Afro Hair Science Summit is dope. And the white people clap back like, what the hell y'all talking about? We got to go through just as much shit with our hair as y'all do with y'all. We don't just get up. Everybody here ain't straight and blonde. So the white people clap back. But why do Black people think that white people got it easier when I need a white person? If y'all know some white people, please, white people, I hope y'all ain't scared of us. But why do we do that?
I remember when I was on tour with the Relaxed and Natural Hairtopia or something. I forgot the name of it. And one of the things that the white women were saying to us that they envy us because we have so much conversation around hair that they don't. They have to learn on their own. It's not a family thing. It's not a community thing. It's not, they just left unto their own devices, and that they want a Black friend to be able to ask them what they should do and what they should not do and things of that nature. Black people don't want to admit that they are afraid.
What Black people scared of? What's up, JoJo? I see you, JoJo, in the chat. Michelle Allen. Oh, we got a celebrity. Hot damn. Sure. What you mean, black folk? We what's up, Linda? How you
We,
doing?
yeah, yeah, we are personally embarrassed about our own choices, and we have to have so much uh, lead up into why we did this and why we did that. Of course, you made a decision to braid your hair because it's your hair, but you see how she made so much of her personal choice to braid. You see how that it carried something extra on it, and we're just saying we actually really didn't give a shit of
I
what
don't think
you
nobody would have
personally.
cared if Michelle Obama braided her. You would
But
have had
at
some
the
old
end of,
school grannies that was like, you can't be wearing no braid. You know, some old school grannies don't
right,
think braids are. That's
but
black
it is,
people.
yeah, but it is trauma for being, in a fishbowl. Your hair is in a fishbowl or was in a fishbowl, but we have to move that along and just
But you
be able
picked
to
that. You
just
know,
make
I'm sorry,
choices.
Cheryl. That's like celebrities complain. Why y'all always interrupting me while I'm eating? You're a celebrity. People are gonna do that. Hairstylists, we bootleg celebrities. That's why we go way out and eat. Because we don't want nobody interrupting us saying, can I get an appointment? So we got a little bit of no, but I think the fishbowl is, I think that's kind of weak, but I get you. I get you. I'm being petty, y'all.
Well, you think about it, that that the power of a first lady, and of course she's probably talking about when she was first lady, not now because we don't give a shit, but think about the power on how she could have reversed it. When we talk about it, let's just say, because I already know that most white women, when they were first lady, they actually did very controversial things with their dress. Jacqueline Bouvier, Kennedy Onassis did a lot of bold things. I think she wants to say she played it safe, and this is the excuse.
What's the
And
excuse?
we hyper talk about the barrier instead of just being able to focus on the freedoms that she did have as first lady. And if she
Yeah, that's why
didn't,
I said.
and if she wasn't bold and she didn't do what she wanted to do, or maybe she's having extracurricular conversation about some of her beauty choices, so what?
Okay,
But
let's ask in the chat. How many
we took
people
over.
how many people would have really cared if Michelle Obama wore braids while she was the first lady? And while you guys are doing that, our virtual co-host is in the chat saying now is the time to hit that thumbs up button and hit the thumbs up button. Cheryl's going to show you what you need to do right now to help change the narrative about Michelle Obama's strange conversations about natural hair. Do you really think would y'all have mattered if Michelle Obama had braids and locks and twists in the White House? Yes or no? Here we go. Show them what they need to do. Yada. All right, now we got some stuff in the chat. Instagram. I want to know what you guys think. Would you had care? Like, oh my God, I can't believe. Like, no, that's a no. Or I think would you have really? Would it really had mattered if she had wore them or not? Just let's just see. Okay, so let's see what we got on Instagram. Oh shoot, the king of locks said yes, he would have cared. Um, so when you say yes, you would have cared, are you making reference to like that she just was representing, the style, or would you like, girl, take that out your hair? Look what you mean by yes, I would have cared. Okay, that could have two things. All right. So let's see. Would you have cared if Michelle Obama wore locks and braids and twists? So in the chat, we got Kay saying, actually, it would have been a nice gesture. Okay. Michelle Obama, I'm sorry, Michelle Allen. I thought you was Michelle Obama. I was finna go. Oh, shit, Michelle Obama in the chat. I got a little. Let me calm my ass down. Okay. Michelle Allen said, nope, nah, it wouldn't have made me no different. I don't, she wear here now. Earth said, nah, I don't think it really wouldn't matter. Okay, come on, y'all, keep them coming. Would you? Does it really matter? Nope, but it would have been fly. Eleanor, you my ninja if you don't get no binja, okay? All right. Jojo, would it have mattered to you? Who's this up next? Fall Q said.
Fall Q said what?
Fall Q says yes, it would have mattered. Our virtual co-host said no, it would not have mattered. So what were you going to say, Cheryl? The question should
I think the question becomes, why would it matter?
Okay, we got some responses to that. So here we go. So Danny Michael is saying the same thing that Kafele is saying. And Kafele, let me know if you're on it, if you yay or nay. It would have been a good example for Black girls. On that note, okay. I think you should look like. Okay, all right, that's a good one. Okay, Danny. All right. Real Rule says, honestly, I thought she would have worn braids at some point, but to answer the question, no. However, it would have made a big statement had she done so. Okay. All right. Here we go. Sets a new standard for style, diversity, and hair appreciation. Y'all, you know what? This chat, y'all some bad little motor scooters up in here. Let me give y'all a big round of applause. So they all right. Y'all got some good positions here. All right. Okay. All right. Big round of applause. Hold on. It's coming back through. All right. Okay. Cheryl, did you want to add to it before I go on with the next part? I'm gonna play some more.
And let me just say this. I think it's not the look of the braids. It would have been her personal choice to wear the braids. That would have been more effective. And once again, we get caught in the symbolism. And that is one of the reasons why we're stuck, because it's just the look. And if she would have worn it, we would have loved it. Oh my God, it would have been pretty. But it's still the personal choice that is supposed to be the most powerful thing of all, right? Mm-hmm. And then that conversation is supposed to lead into the other conversation we're supposed to be having, right?
Okay.
So the symbolism would have been nice. The look of it would have been, I guess, nice. As I think Fall Q said, personally, it would have been nice.
That's kind of like, I think her choice would have been would have been like Issa Rae. I root for everybody Black. And the White House, whatever she had done, I would have been like, it's just nice to see her in there. I personally think had she worn them, people would have been like what we're seeing in the chat. I'm sure she probably still would have got some backlash because you do have some old school Black people. But again, we never did get to my point, which is I wanted to know, why do we pick on white people? We didn't get to that, but that's where I was going. But anyway,
I did. It's because we hyper fixated because we personally are embarrassed. Yeah,
embarrassed to wear our hair.
We're embarrassed to be struggling with the choice. We're embarrassed of not being able to have the freedom of the choice. We struggle with the choice because we feel that we have to make one or a discernment, one versus the other. And we don't want people to know that we struggle with that as a people. And so what we'll do is we'll hyperstate on the barrier instead of just saying, I really wasn't comfortable. Now, see, that is a taboo. Because you're supposed to be comfortable. It's 2000.
Right. But here's the thing. Now, I've never had a hoity-toity position, where I had like anchor women and attorneys, like y'all got to have a certain look. I have no idea what y'all talking about. I've just been able to do whatever I want to do with my. I grew up in an environment, but like people wore. My mother wore Afro. My teachers had Afros. I honestly, I just don't understand this at all. But I've never worked on that level where you just couldn't, you know, look a
But I
certain
had
way. But
clients that were in retail, high end retail, and they
okay,
did choose to look a certain way. And if we could just allow ourselves to understand, we understand the barriers, but we also don't are not gonna judge you for having the struggle. And I think that that
hmm
is what we have trouble with. And so
okay.
we hyperfixate and give it to white people instead of just saying that we're uncomfortable.
All right, okay. Q says, "Are we to assume former first ladies had more conservative standards to abide by?" They could have. I think that to me that's a given, but I've
First
never been in
ladies
the
don't
White House.
first ladies
Yeah.
don't have dress code. No.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's play some more of this clip. Here we go, guys. I'm just gonna keep breaking it down. Here we
And the
go.
decision to get my hair braided was primarily a continuation of that freedom. You know, it's like a lot of people want to know, well, what do braids mean? What does she mean? Look, y'all, we
What
are
does she mean? It's
what, you know,
great.
I mean, that's what white folks are. It's like, what does that mean? What are you saying? We're saying nothing except I just don't want to have to do my hair every day, and I want to go swim.
All right. What do they mean? I don't want to have to do my hair every day. Sure, unmute your mic. Sorry, you got your mic muted. Oh, Cheryl, unmute your mic. You got to unmute it yourself.
Oh, I didn't mute it. You muted me.
No, I tried to unmute you and it said you got to do it. Sorry, I was trying. Okay, I didn't even
Oh,
touch it. See my hand
oh,
right here. Okay. Anywho, all
okay.
right. So,
No, I'm just
so
saying that she double spoke. She said
okay.
I didn't want it. Right. that was the truth.
Did
That
y'all
was the
catch
truth.
that? Did y'all catch that?
Now she
Let
did
me play it
say
again because
she
we
was
missed it. Let me the mute got us messed up. Let's try. Here we go. One more time. Here we go.
And the decision to get my hair braided was primarily a continuation of that freedom. You know, it's like a lot of people want to know, well, what do braids mean? What does she mean? Look, y'all,
What does she mean? It's
what,
great.
you know, I mean, that's what white folks are. It's like, what does that mean? What are you saying? We're saying nothing except I just don't want to have to do my hair every day, and I want
Michelle, get it, Cheryl. Hold on. Wait a minute, Cheryl. Wait. Hold on.
you keep muting me?
No, I think when I play the clip, it's
Oh,
it's
okay. It
acting up.
automatically
Okay,
mutes
yeah.
me. Okay,
All right.
gotcha,
And
gotcha.
then it's saying that Facebook is having some issues. Anywho, go ahead, go ahead. So you said she what now?
So we're talking about she is talking about a time when she wore them because she's saying I made the choice of it was a choice of freedom. Now she may not be talking about during her being first lady. And maybe she did wear them and maybe it because it was a while ago. Maybe we just don't remember. But I will say she's told the truth. Braids, ladies, keeps you guys from having to do your hair.
Hmm.
She's she
Okay. All right. So let's see what everybody got to say. Now, here is my thing with that. It's
Uh-oh.
unrealistic. Okay. It's unrealistic,
Okay.
but
Okay.
we know that there are styles that you can put in your hair that you don't have to do every day. Whether you braid it up or even like this look that I have here. I don't have to
Mhm.
curl this. I think some of
No,
it She may not have had the proper professionals on her hair to teach her what she needed to do to recreate the look, or they did not know how to create the look, so she would not have been afraid to do her hair, because the myth is that if you
Which is
keep
a challenge.
manipulating this fiber, that somehow it's going to be messed up. So some of it, that part could have been true, but we'll see. Okay, let's see what some of the chat is saying here. These are good. All right, here we go. We want white people to accept it deep down inside, and that's a problem. Okay, that could be true. Okay. Let's see. Kay said, for Michelle, Braids represented freedom after leaving the White House. Okay, I got that too. All right. And then Fall Q said, at least she said every day and not every 2 weeks. All right. Okay. So my take on that is hairstyles, you don't necessarily have to redo. The myth that the hair is a lot to do, I think we need to stop saying that, instead of just saying you don't want to do your hair. You have to carve the time out. But if you're not brought up and taught how to manage your hair, like we don't say that about our teeth, right? I just didn't want to brush my teeth every day. You see what I'm saying? So because we're taught how to do that. So maybe she just wasn't brought up in the home where you had to know how to do your hair. That's why I say to anybody who's looking for a hairstylist, I'm just going to be honest. I would have some serious concerns about anyone touching my hair if they can't do their own. Like if your barber didn't have a crisp look, you're going to be like, I don't know, John, if you can cut my hair, Danny Michael. Your hair's looking kind of, the police officer without the cap. You know what I'm saying? The doctor without the white coat. Sometimes it's just, but they were taught how to do that, right? So, anywho, that's just my take on it. All right, let's play a little bit more. Here we go.
And the decision to get my hair braided was primarily a continuation of that freedom. It's like a lot of people want to know, well, what do braids mean? What does she mean? Look, y'all,
What does she mean?
That's what white folks are. It's like, what does that mean? What are you saying? We're saying nothing except I just don't want to have to do my hair every day. And I want to go swimming. I don't want to have to worry about it. Let me explain something to white people. Our hair comes out of our head naturally in a curly pattern. So when we're straightening it.
All right. So she said, I don't want to do my hair. I want to go swimming. And our hair grows out of the scalp in this curly pattern. Now, I'm not going to say that all scholars know the same thing, but I am going to say that in pursuit of that PhD scholarship, I could be wrong, and y'all let me know. I do believe that most scholars are aware that mankind came out of Africa. I do believe this. I believe all scholars know this. I truly do. And because I believe that all scholars know that mankind it started, the Homo sapiens came out of Africa, right? That racializing hair is a no-no for any, and I do mean any scholar that's racializing hair. And I'm going to calm down. I know what y'all saying. Stop it. I'm trying. Remember, I'm going off of Theophile Obanga saying that in antiquity, education was about bringing out that humanity, that human in you. And every scholar knows that race is pseudo. So to act like curly hair is only coming out of brown people or type, just cut.
Well, this is part of her little performance. I don't know what it is, but she wanted to make a great announcement. But this is one of the worst mistakes the Crown Act could have made. And it is not talking in depth enough for the listener to be able to understand, to grow out of that kind of conversation. Because white folks know what your hair looks like. They know it's not straight. They know that you had to, even if braids are not, you don't grow braids. Everybody has to do their hair. And what I don't like about that, then the way she, and it's kind of like in this humorous kind of way.
Yeah, we
but
go swimming.
It actually keeps putting the onus of caring about what white people don't know, what white people do know, as if they were to act differently would turn the corner on our American experience or not. And also, what bothers me about that is that she's connecting, like you say, with the big fuck you, you know what I mean? Is that when you keep connecting Black people to a certain experience, like it's always negative. I just don't understand why they won't move their energy about this conversation. It just bugs the shit
And let me
out
just
of
say
me.
this. I'm sorry. I'm gonna represent the hood. Okay. I'm about to do it. Okay. I'm from the hood. The projects, ninjas. I'm talking about the roaches, my pee smelling hallways, the projects. And I know y'all gonna find this hard to believe. I'm not saying all, but a lot of projects and inner city communities had what? Swimming pools. All right. I'm just because we gotta cut this out. Acting like Black folks wouldn't get. We jumped in the water and we couldn't even what? Swim. Nobody in. The only time you got in trouble for getting that hair wet is if it was Easter or Christmas and your mama spent all that time straightening out your hair and you got it wet in a tub because we ain't had showers. The showers are new. Okay. And that's the only time you got in trouble. But we went to the pool. As a matter of fact, if you're from the hood, when it was time to get in the pool, what did they say? All in the pool. This was the call for everybody in the hood to jump in the pool. That's one. Two, they all in the hood, they always had these rich white people that would come and get us out the hood and take us to something called the camp. Now, I'm not saying all, I'm just talking about the hood experience. So we would go to the camp, and part of the experience in the camp was to learn how to swim, because in the hood, we just jumped our asses in the pool, and some of us would drown and be, chlorine going up our nose, snot everywhere, okay? But the other side of people not wanting to go in the pool, it really didn't have nothing to do with hair for the most of it. The most part, the two top reasons why Black people didn't get in the pool in the hood, number one, they ain't have a towel. They did not have a towel. Because parents just, we ain't have, that's number one. Number two, a lot of Black kids was peeing. And if you peed in the water, it would turn what? Come on, where my hood people at? I don't know about them suburbs. So you had the people, when you pee, it turns colors, okay? So she ain't, why we got to keep saying Black people don't want to get in the pool because they don't want to get their hair wet? That's not true. You do have a lot of Black people who don't want to do that, but that's because they don't want to do the hair over. But I grew up in the hood. I'm talking about, we had the pool that we didn't even have an in-ground pool. They just put that portable one in.
But was every Black girl walking around with a press and curl, or what? And if you didn't relax the pool, what would water make a difference? What?
I,
I'm just
I
trying
mean, we
to
ain't
really
even have you put the swimming. You had black people saying stuff like, "I'm gonna put the swimming cap on so my hair don't get wet." All black people know swimming caps don't keep your hair from getting wet. They keep your hair out your face, but they don't stop your hair from getting wet.
I mean, but we are not the number one buyers of swim caps. But my point is that
our parents ain't paying for that shit. I'm sorry.
I just want to know why a woman of that intellectual caliber would create this us versus them to the legitimacy of our experience. That's number one. But number two, that is so 1960 conversation. It's so 1970s. It's so 1980s. It's so 1990s. And because we do have or supposedly have a renaissance or some new revolution within the last 25 years of natural hair care, why is the conversation pre-natural hair care? Why is it pre-Y2K? Why is it so like, it's almost like we're regressing in the whole conversation, and it's not nuanced anymore. It's not informative. It's not. It's
like what Danny just said. Danny says it's like they're purposely avoiding the sophistication of the matter. It seems disingenuous and agenda driven. I can't see a former first lady not having a more universal mentality than that. And we can end the podcast on that right there. I'm gonna put my Max. Hey Kim, I'm about to put my Max the Mac on. Can you buy that? I'm sorry. I mean, Daddy don't cuss like me, but I'm just got a potty mouth. My mama was cussing. My daddy. Remember that song? Daddy couldn't read. Daddy couldn't write. But one thing Daddy sure could do right. What could he do? Sure, Daddy could swear. Y'all, I declare. Y'all know about that. That's Gladys Knight, baby. Daddy couldn't read, but Daddy could swear. He couldn't write, but Daddy could swear. But I think Danny sums it up. I mean, that's the reality. I just, and I'm not saying that black people
don't know how to have the conversation. Let's ask.
Or
Let's
just
ask
say,
the hair care community.
Or just put the
bring in the professional.
Put the clarifier.
She don't know. Obviously,
she got a PhD. You got a PhD and you racializing hair. Stop it. Now, cosmetologists may not know. Trichologists may not know. Natural hairstyle. But if you have a PhD, you know good god dang on well. Ain't no such thing as no black. You got phenotypes. Now, I ain't gonna about to say all you, okay? But all that come out the hair curly, girl, stop it, Judy. And then you talk about we don't want to get in the pool because we don't want to get, you may not want to get your hair wet, but tell the truth about why you didn't want to get your hair wet. Because your mama spent all that time and all that money on your hair and just that was it. But you should have been going to the pool. And if you snuck and did it anyway, or you had the water hose, because some of us couldn't go to the pool. So we pulled out the water hose or the water fountain, when the fire hydrants, they would, the fire department would do that, you get in trouble. But it wasn't all like that. Let's just tell the truth about why we did not want to get our hair, or we couldn't get our hair wet. So I'm going along with you, Danny. I'm just saying, I think some of this stuff, we are using extensive forms of hyperbole. I'm trying not to use profanity so much tonight because Kim just came through. Kim, if you wouldn't have came in, I would have just kept cussing. But since Kim came in, and if y'all wondering who's Kim, she's just one of the most formidable, most influential people in the beauty industry. So I ain't gonna Kim. I'm gonna just clean it up. Now, when you get out the chat, I'm gonna start cussing again. So let me know when you get ready to go, okay? But anywho, all
right, next.
Here we go. Let's break down. Here's another part. Again, 179 episodes in, and we're dissecting this conversation about Michelle Obama's conversation about natural hair in our 3-part series, Stranger Things. Here we go.
And the decision to get my hair braided was primarily a continuation of that freedom. It's like a lot of people want to know, well, what do braids mean? What does she mean? Look, y'all, We
What
are
does she mean? It's
what, you
great.
know, I mean, that's what white folks are. It's like, what does that mean? What are you saying? We're saying nothing except I just don't want to have to do my hair every day, and I want to go swimming. I don't want to have to worry about it. Let me explain something to white people. Our hair comes out of our head naturally in a curly pattern. So when we're straightening it to follow your beauty standards, we are trapped by the straightness. That's why so.
She want to go swimming. Just go swimming. Go. White people don't care. And then you saw what she went with that, right? That next part.
I guarantee you that was a 60% black audience.
You think so?
Guarantee you. Yeah. I do know that white women do follow her. I definitely understand that. Get it. I actually thought she was embarrassing us, to be honest with you. I found it chastising. But the beauty standard, and let me just say, let me tell you guys the real issue that I have with it. Because we do have a Crown Act that is useless, and I mean literally useless, okay? And we'll get into why it's useless, but it's useless because her talking about prejudicial elements that people should have, because of course she's talking about her preferences and she's talking about her prejudices, one versus the other one versus the other. I don't understand why she is, if they're personal, right? And then of course she wants to, like you said, broad stroke it and say we're doing this
for white people
because for your beauty standard. And white people, I guarantee you, besides just the fact that, you know, because straight hair is a texture, they don't understand why you are appealing to their personal prejudices and don't get to the real issue of that it's a class issue. And it's a power relationship that white people are having with us. And it's not just white people. It's called power. Power dynamics creates class. And whoever has the power gets to what? Dictate dress codes. It's not hair. We don't give a shit about your hair. White people don't give a shit about your hair. They care about the power dynamic that disallows you to partake in the protections of the First Amendment. That's a power relationship. It's about class and power. And when we get, I guess, enough courage, and she is married to a constitutional lawyer. She knows better. She knows that she is bullshitting. She knows she is signifying. She knows that she is just performing. She's got to know that. And I agree with Danny. She is just really giving us fodder for our moments just can't, with her.
I mean, what's up, Sister Nia Colby? Nice to see you in the chat. Hey. I just think that when the acculturation. Now, I would not expect a scholar to know this. Okay, I find it hard to believe that, I don't care if you're, let's just say blacks in the diaspora. Okay, I'm not even gonna pick on America. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Africans in the diaspora, I just find it hard to believe that nobody ever even contemplated that Black people didn't start straightening their hair or stretching it or whatever we want to call it until we came into contact.
You mean heat?
Heat. It's just kind of like saying wasn't no black angels in heaven, even though all the angels we saw growing up was white. We knew it was some black. And I know you may not believe in some. We got some atheists. I'm just saying. I mean, y'all really think that at no point we talking
that we didn't put
hundreds.
Yeah, we didn't put heat makes something coily. We didn't think that heat straightens it.
All this stuff, y'all,
we discovered.
Let me just say, we built pyramids. Come on, y'all. We did the wheel. We did the spear. You know how black people invented everything.
No. Forget that. What did they find in King Tut? What did they find in King Tut's tomb?
They found
a chariot, moving vehicles.
They found all kinds
tables, all kind of shit that we use today, right? I don't understand.
I just can't.
I am so, and in fact, I think I'm a little personally embarrassed at this point.
At this point in the juncture. So let me just say in the chat, how many people do y'all really believe that brown skin, black, whatever y'all want to call us, people, we never, ever put no heat on that coil and stretched it until we saw white people in America or Europe? I just want to know.
No. Until no, because we've been in the Western Hemisphere.
Okay. Come on.
It's not the first time that black folks was in the Western Hemisphere and in America. But my whole thing is that nobody just never thought about the fact that this is what class power does. Class power says, I'm going your ass in America, so I'm going to take you on the boat. Oh, by the way, don't bring your shit. Don't bring your toiletry bag. Don't bring your combs. Don't bring nothing because you're not coming back. You're not going on vacation. You're going to work. Now, at that point, I'm a weaver. I get some yarn. I got to put it in this machine. You don't think that I would adjust the yarn to fit the machine? So at the end of the day, the incredible meanness of saying black people assimilated to be like their master instead of adjusting to the environment. Because at the end of the day, if you have a comb that does not promote whatever texture you have, you adjust the texture to the tool. And I don't understand why
they say necessity is the mother of
just
invention.
want it to be white. Well, yeah. I mean, but it is so discompassionate.
Here you go.
Saying we want it to be white.
Okay, let me just interrupt you right quick. To those of you who are just entering into the conversation, we are officially 179 episodes in, and tonight we're talking about Michelle Obama's conversation, her diatribes on natural hair, her most recent conversation with Tracee Ellis Ross. We are dissecting the conversation because we say these are some stranger things for a woman of her caliber, her acumen, to be having such a horrible conversation about natural hair in this context is just beyond belief. And we're breaking down, it's very diabolical. And we're breaking her conversation, her response to Tracee Ellis Ross. We're taking the clip and we're showing you at each and every point where this woman is truly out of her ethos. And so when you say things like we straightened our hair to acculturate, we've been stretching this fabric before Jesus Christ, y'all. It's documented. And I just can't believe that we're using a word like acculturation when Cheryl said we trying to survive their neurosis. We're in their settings. We got to do, when in Rome, do what? Ain't that what we say? Y'all ain't saying nothing now. Oh, now y'all want to get quiet now, okay? They were just straightening the hair, like Cheryl said. It was
Well, it's time for us to move. They didn't bring upon you a standard. The standard is the power relationship of disallowing you to have your tools. It's a part of the class system. It was not the fact at this point, it is not about, I'm going to wear my natural hair regardless, and I'm going to get my ass beat, and I'm going to die. I'm not going to straighten my hair. That was not survival. Means that you physically adapt to the environment. Now, you may use the words assimilate, but at the end of the day, as much as black men, because let's just be clear.
Come on.
People don't talk about black men did it first. Black men did it first, but for some reason, black women have to take the brunt. Because black men did it 60 years before black women ever did it. Now, think about that. Think about that for a minute. Because when we talk about assimilation, it's not a male thing. So that is one of the reasons why I don't want people who are not sophisticated to talk about it, because what it ends up doing, it ends up implicating and being very mean and mean-spirited. Now, of course, she hid it, and we always hide what is mean. We always hide what is really judgmental. We hide it in humor. And that is where the psychological scarring begins.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like people who don't understand the historical references to be talking about it. And it's really harmful when you put it in humor.
Yeah. I just, again, we're breaking down Michelle Obama's response and pieces, and we're critiquing them. And of course, these are her personal opinions, which she is most certainly entitled to. But as people who work in the industry, I can tell you these types of conversations are extremely harmful, because when you're saying these things like, you straightening your hair because you're trying to, fit to white people's beauty standards. I just think about my grandmother. We call her Big Mama, and my great grandmother, who we call Big Mama too. And y'all just let me know if y'all could do this, okay? I want you to go back in the time whenever your grandma or your great grandmother was born. And I want you to look your grandmother in your face, either at this age or whatever age you could look your grandmother in her face, that you understood, what you're talking about. And you say to great grandma and your grandmother that the reason why you were straightening your hair because you were trying to fit beauty standards of white people. I think your great grandmother and your grandma would probably slap the taste out of your mouth. That's not, I think what Cheryl is saying is correct. I think it may be interpreted like that, but I look at my grandmother and my great grandmother, and they were some mighty
And once again,
black women.
Look at your granddaddy. Look at your uncles. Look at all of those men who did the unthinkable just to stay with you, just to keep his or her family together. Because at the end of the day, for us to reach back in that conversation and to talk about it the way we talk about it, you and me are the dream of them. what we experience in the life and how we see the world today, they could never see it that way. And for us to talk about it, and I don't think we're cognizant about how detrimental, it's devastating. In fact, there's a word that I'm reaching for, but I will actually basically stop us from talking about it. No matter where I am, if you're not talking about it to where it honors, you're not talking about it where it allows us a safe place to land. Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody walking up to James Brown saying, nigga, you selling out. Cause you got
ain't nobody tell Prince.
And
you see you going up to Morris Day and you ain't gonna tell Morris Day and Prince. Jimmy Jam, what's his name with the guitar? Oh shoot, his name just escaped me. The Can You Help Me? All of them,
yeah,
he was Prince protege. Yeah.
Well, first of all, you weren't walking up to Fats Domino, Nat King Cole,
Nat King Cole,
Duke Ellington, Lionel Hampton, and y'all got to remember.
I dare you talk to Richard Simmons
Miles Davis, and the Temptations, and all them people, and all those men still were masculine. All of them were still masculine with that straight hair.
Al Green! Oh my God! Al Green! Love and happiness.
Well,
make you want to do wrong.
And I think that once they got into and it's a style. We need to get into the real light, real understanding that we are a grooming people that have a vast history. Colonialism afforded Europeans to take and learn and apply a lot of African, a lot of Black people's grooming techniques. But their people don't say they want to be Black. They don't braid them. They don't browbeat them. They don't do any of that. But what makes us do it is not the fact that Black folks know that we don't want to be white.
No.
What they're
if you think I'm straightening my hair because I want to be white, I'm like this. I'm from the hood. Come say that to my face.
Well, here's the thing. What is it about hair that makes you lose all of your other phenotype traits? Why does it make you lose your voice? It don't make I still sound like a Black woman, regardless if I'm straightening my hair. I still cook like a Black woman. I still dance like a Black woman. I still think like a Black woman.
And they still got to sit their ass in the back of that bus too, didn't they? They couldn't drink from that fountain.
Yeah, but once again, it is not to excuse the to whom much is given, much is required of you, to be able to be watchful with what comes out of your mouth, and just highly disappointed in her for not.
I just know that. Yeah. I just know that if anybody could have this conversation on a different level because she lived there, she was there, to me, it would be her. I think she could give that other side of that conversation because after all, we're trying to unify. Remember, the education is to bring about what? Humanity. We don't want to be divided just because they did it. Well, we gonna trump them on, No, we not. That's how Kamala said. What we not gonna do is, and I just think she gaslighted.
But here we go again. You guys really don't think Kamala's hair grows like that, do you? I mean, come on, y'all. Damn. I mean, she straightens it. She does.
Yeah. All right.
Let's
play some more of this clip.
All right, go ahead.
All right, we're going to play some more of this clip. We are breaking down the conversation between former First Lady Michelle Obama and her conversation with Tracy Ellis Ross about this natural hair thing. And again, we're stopping at the key points and we're just giving our feedback into why that's the dumbest shit that a first lady could say about.
Are you going to start it where you left off?
All right. So I can't do it. I have to play it. It won't let me do it. All right. I can't scroll. Okay, here we go.
And the decision to get my hair braided was primarily a continuation of that freedom. You know, it's like a lot of people want to know, well, what do braids mean? What does she mean? Look, y'all, we
What
are
does she mean?
what, you know, I mean, that's what white folks are. It's like, what does that mean? What are you saying? We're saying nothing except I just don't want to have to do my hair every day. And I want to go swimming. I don't want to have to worry about it. Let me explain something to white people. Our hair comes out of our head naturally in a curly pattern. So when we're straightening it to follow your beauty standards, we are trapped by the straightness. That's why so many of us can't swim and we run away from the water. People won't go to the gym because we're trying to keep our hair.
We are trapped by the straightness. Michelle, what you saying? Remember, y'all remember EPMD? They had a hip hop. So what you saying? I need an Eric Sermon bars right about now. Michelle Obama, what you saying, boo? We trapped by the straightness. You can't go to the pool. You can't go swimming.
It don't go further past that.
You want me to play the rest? Okay, let me play. Hold on.
That's where we stopped.
The decision to
here we go.
Get my hair braided was primarily a continuation of that freedom. You know, it's like a lot of people want to know, well, what do braids mean? What does she mean? Look, y'all,
What does she mean?
what, you know, I mean, that's what white folks are. It's like, what does that mean? What are you saying? We're saying nothing except I just don't want to have to do my hair every day. And I want to go swimming. I don't want to have to worry about it. Let me explain something to white people. Our hair comes out of our head naturally in a curly pattern. So when we're straightening it to follow your beauty standards, we are trapped by the straightness. That's why so many of us can't swim and we run away from the water. People won't go to the gym because we're trying to keep our hair straight for y'all. It is exhausting and it's so expensive and it's
You gonna tell me we trying to keep our hair straight for white people? Maybe, I don't know. I'm like the boys in the hood. I'm like Ricky now. Maybe I'm like Ice Cube. I'm sorry, Doughboy. Let me say it, Cheryl.
Come on.
Either they don't know, it don't show, or they just don't care about the girls in the hood, the boys in the hood. Our hair. I know y'all not falling for it. I know y'all, but she got standing ovations for this stuff.
Standing ovation.
I mean, come on, you go, girl. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Are we hating? Tell us what we doing. Are we hating?
Are we hating? And
okay, we got they over here. Wait, they on TikTok. I mean, wait a minute. They on Instagram. They said, for y'all information, a widely cited study conducted by the Perception Institute used the hair IAT, wait a minute, implicit association test to assess bias against Afro textured hair, which is sometimes incorrectly attributed to.
Okay, now what I want you guys to do for me.
Thank you so much. The key Mayach. I hope I'm saying this wrong. The Kim match. Okay, Kim AIT. Okay, Kim. Sorry. We on Instagram, Cheryl. They
Okay, now,
got Foxy on us.
all right. I want you guys to give me the definition of bias.
All right, Instagram, we going for you. Hold on. Don't cook it up. Look it up. Let's give the definition of.
What is the first word?
All right, hold on. Oh, okay, that's you, Kim H. I'm sorry. Okay. Bias. Hold on. You want me to pull it up, Cheryl, or want me to read it, or
Just read it.
okay,
Just read
okay, here we go.
Just
Now, this is according to my homeboy chat. Okay. That's my ninja, my nerd, my jelly preserve. Okay. Bias is a natural inclination for or against something, often a learned tendency that can affect judgment, perception, and actions. It can appear as a prejudice against a group, a flaw, and a study that leads to incorrect conclusions or an electrical voltage in a device. Everyone has biases, and so on and so forth.
And a prejudice is what?
Got bias.
Okay. So a bias is having a differentiation, a discerning, a discriminative liking for one thing or another. Prejudice is having an opinion about a certain thing or difference, right? Okay. Now, what happens No. It's not her experience. Let me just say this. The difference between a bias and an experience. Prejudice.
Prejudice.
Okay. One is having a differentiation between one thing or another, right? Okay. Prejudice is having an opinion about differences, right? Now, here's the caveat, and this is to answer you, Miss K. Right?
And this is, by the way, in case this is on the study that they did about Black folks' hair. Okay. I'm sorry, I can't find it no more. Go ahead.
Now, do you guys remember the relaxer issue? And I'm going to bring it on home. The reason why, do you guys remember the relaxer? Okay. Now, when you have biases and prejudices and you do a study, okay? Now, do you guys know how they came up with the relaxer findings? Okay. Now,
do we know how they came up with the relaxer findings?
Right. They used
through a question.
I'm sorry.
Questionnaire. It was a questionnaire.
Yeah. No, correlation.
Correlation. I'm sorry. You're right.
Right. Okay. So that means that they took these women who brushed their teeth, drank water, exercised, went to sleep, took vitamins, and did all kind of things the same. Everything. But they took one thing that was, they chose relaxing, which means that when they took relaxing, that took a group of the women out. And then they studied those particular women and made a correlation conclusion. There are biases and prejudices all the time, because at the end of the day, what is Michelle Obama sitting up there on stage looking like when she did that interview? She had straight hair. All right. I know for a fact, okay, it's in the hairdressing community, that she prefers. Now I'm using a word called preference. She prefers straight hair, most of the time. Is that her bias? Is that her prejudice? The key here in the ultimate 21st century conversation to all my professionals, to all Black women, and to all Black men, I want you guys to understand, I don't give a shit about your biases or prejudices or experiences. Because at the end of the day, when we move the chains collectively, right, it is the group that can exploit your prejudice, exploit your biases, exploit your experiences to make you have an experience or a prejudice or a bias the way they want you to. That's called power. That is the power to be able to have a prejudice. That's what dress codes are about. So when little boys and little girls go to school and people go to work, the boss up there has the power relationship to dictate his or her prejudice on you.
They don't want to talk about that.
So it doesn't matter what her experience is. It doesn't matter what her prejudices is. It doesn't matter what her biases is. She has the freedom as an American to have all these discernments and preferences and prejudices and biases. The problem is that there's one person at any given time that looks at a little Black boy and a little Black girl that says, you're out of the dress code. And I don't like that. I know there's a way for you to be able to fit into the dress code, but I don't want you to do that. I literally want you to cut them off. That's a power. So at that point, we need to stop screwing around here trying to appeal with people's biases and prejudices and get in that Constitution and be able to say the one right, and this is in the Constitution, one right cannot supersede the right of another person.
No, ma'am.
That at the end of the day, the dress code is the issue. The years of classism dealing with neat and professional. Because neat and professional belongs in the plantation, in the colonial relationship in the colonies. That has not moved. And if we keep having dumbass conversation with powerful women who are intelligent enough to understand that maybe I need to have some little more deeper information and scholar, and maybe I need to move this conversation along for us to be able to get in and to really deal with what the real problem is. It's classism and a power relationship. That's what I am looking for, that kind of caliber of woman to be able to help us and assist Black hair care professionals and experts and barber experts in this industry to be able to move the political process. So when we go to make policy and we go to the marketplace and we go to the Senate and we go to the House, we won't ask for dumb shit that is beneath us to ask for. And I don't give a shit about white people prejudice and biases. Oh, they're white people. I just want to let you know. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, because that's what they're hiding behind. I think
personal biases. That's
right. And I think I think that's the part that these scholars know.
Yeah.
Racism is so easy to just hide behind that. You ain't gotta like my hair. Don't nobody care. Right. It's okay. I mean, like, so what? You don't like, and your point? I mean, I don't like your hair either. Okay.
And stop acting like we ain't wore the shit before. We wore afros and afro puffs and our cornrows and to the Oscars. We ain't did that. What are we talking about?
I think we should be using the opportunity to call an ace and a spade. Pull a power out. Go on to the First Amendment and slap their asses upside the head with it. They don't want none of that smoke. But as long as we keep sitting up here talking about this crazy stuff, acculturation, appropriation, meanwhile, back at the ranch, make sure y'all keep them dress codes so we can keep them Negroes up out of here. That's the power struck. Like she said, That's what y'all keep going out there talking about some racism, biases. They ain't on that. They 10 steps ahead. That one word or two word Project 2025. They knew in 1965. They said, let them have it. Y'all keep marching. Project 25, number 1. They wrote it all the way out. They knew. Let them keep crying. Oh, they so racist. They so implicit bias. All the DEI. Let them get it. Let it get out their system. They had our number. You know what we say in the hood? They pulled our whole card. We gotta stop having these conversations. I'm sorry, y'all.
Let me ask you. I know, but you hit something. You know what the funny thing is that Republicans and just conservative people, church people, whatever they will talk about the transgender issue. You know what I want to talk about? I want you to get length out of the dress code. Take length out. Length don't make the man. Length, they keep length.
Now hold on, ladies.
They keep length in the dress code to keep Black people because they grow the locks long and they grow braids long. The length is the problem. The length is the only reason why you keep cutting your shit.
And length is a tie to what? Femininity. That's the power. But that's why we keep saying
our relationship. It's the Constitution. That's
right. We saying she was, and I know, I hope y'all following us. She got the power. She's in the position of all the people who could be saying what we're saying. It's Michelle Obama. If she was on this conversation with us, all she would say is, "You right, yeah, but." Because we ain't,
but not screwing around with me. Ain't no but. If you're not gonna do it, just say that. But ain't no but.
Right. We have to, like Cheryl said, we should be able to do something with that. But we up here listen to this lady talk about this. Let's wrap the close of this video up. Here we go.
And the decision to get my hair braided was primarily a continuation of that freedom. It's like a lot of people want to know, well, what do braids mean? What does she mean? Look, y'all.
What does she mean?
That's how white folks are. It's like, what does that mean? What are you saying? We're saying nothing except I just don't want to have to do my hair every day. And I want to go swimming. I don't want to have to worry about it. Let me explain something to white people. Our hair comes out of our head naturally in a curly pattern. So when we're straightening it to follow your beauty standards, we are trapped by the straightness. That's why so many of us can't swim and we run away from the water. People won't go to the gym because we're trying to keep our hair straight for y'all. It is exhausting and it's so expensive and it takes up so much time. Braids are for y'all so we can work harder and focus on the work. So why do we need an act of law to tell white folks to get out our hair? Don't tell me how to wear my hair.
Braids are for y'all so we can work harder. Are we back on the fields? Oh my God.
And y'all going along with this. Why? Dear Black people, why? Why y'all clapping to that? If you told a white person, I see all these natural hair pictures on everybody, all of us, wore braids, me, everybody in there. Ain't nobody wearing no braids so we can work harder for white people. Just come on. Everybody, I'm boss and I'm Bob. I ain't working for the white folks. No more white folk over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to be with Jesus and be free and be free. We not doing that, y'all. Everybody say you can't even find nobody that's working no more. According to y'all, we ain't even working since the pandemic. Let y'all tell it. We ain't working for white folks no more. We got our own. Everybody buying black. Am I right or wrong? Am I weak or strong? Which one is it, y'all? What we doing? Y'all better say something to me and stop playing around. I'm not playing with y'all.
Wait a minute. Now, white folks didn't even see. Wait a minute. When we went to Columbus, Ohio, they greeted us with that Crown Act. Boy, they actually thought we was there for the Crown Act. We was there for Afro hair science curriculum. But every time we was in the building, oh yes, you're here for the Crown Act. We're really gonna get that passed. I can tell you something. You already know your legislation ain't shit when white folks are excited about passing it for you. It ain't got no teeth in it. It ain't got no bite in it. It ain't got no tax force in it. It ain't got no enforcement to it. It ain't got no money to it. It ain't got nothing. They were so, oh my God, you're here for, oh my God, we're going to get, and what did Senator Shirley say? Oh, we ain't here for that. Oh, what? We're here, people. And I'm not saying that we cannot enjoy the colloquialisms and the folklore and urban legends of the things that we do as Black people. We cannot enjoy talking about them. I'm saying I expect, I don't expect Barack Obama to be talking about sagging. I just don't. I don't expect certain people of caliber to be talking about certain things in a way that could be misconstrued. And she actually think that that's factual.
And it's not her experience. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
That is not her experience. That is not her experience. It's not. I don't buy none of what this woman said. I know that this woman knows that she got a book that she wrote, and I know she want to sell them books, and she knows all about social engineering. She knows this stuff. She knows how to play on the emotions of Black women who have had those experiences. And she may be drawing on some previous experiences before she got to the White House. But when you become a first lady, everything that she's talking about, that's not even her issue.
And so for 8 years, she has had access to a hairstylist.
Access. I don't buy it. She wants y'all to get that book. She wants y'all to know that she's still Black. She's trying to keep her Black card. Go play the game, Michelle. You don't have to do that because it's bigger things that's happening from that conversation. When you watch these clips, you'll see. I mean, it's like you starting a fight with people who can't fight. That's the part we talking about. You don't set people up for the woo. We used to do that in social work. Don't put people in front of the camera and then 10 years later it's gonna come back and haunt them. So we never allowed our families to be interviewed because we have a greater responsibility than just to ourselves in those positions while we're trying to help those families out. We have to be very, very careful. So I don't buy none of what she said. I think she gaslit the whole situation, a Black experience, that there's a big school of thought that Black people think that. But we're saying go a little bit bigger in your thoughts, Black people, because it is not racism. It is not these studies on biases and all that stuff is just, it's fog. Peel back the layers.
They know it's wrong.
Right. They know what it is. It's power struggle.
It's a power dynamic of a ruling class.
Come on.
And they and let me just say this. I don't care as long as you are not able to use the fullest of the First Amendment. Your hair is always unprotected. There is no such thing as a protective hairstyle. There can't be. Not because you're only protected by your citizenry, your rights, your privileges, the things that your people have paid for. I mean, with the greatest knuckling down. No people knuckled harder than your people for a consistent century after century. So for us to still be here talking about mere prejudice and biases of certain people within the ruling class, that's fine. If you want to just make fun of it and keep having stand up and we keep just laughing at this, that's fine.
Because we ain't getting.
But I will say that you are absolutely correct, Ladosha.
Yeah, the only place we getting in this conversation is into your pockets. You know, only place you're gonna get into a conversation like that is you're gonna buy some books, you're gonna buy some hair care products, and you're gonna keep trying to find this holy grail of a something called natural. This ain't us, y'all. But we so it's some of people, and if that's your belief, I mean, to each his own. But we're talking about people who are looking for liberation, people who are trying to maybe even be refreshed, revitalized, or reconnected, or maybe in some instances reimagined. But we're not trying to keep keep the genie, in the bottle with some of this nonsense that she's saying that these are her experiences. I think she's making a reference to some stuff from the past. But when you get to a certain point in your life in a certain position, like, she ain't got to drive no more. Come on now, y'all. I mean, she there's something just not going to happen.
She still has a detail.
And they shouldn't. She is the first. She's the former. Yeah. I mean, they got some lifestyle we don't know nothing about. Trust me. I've been in some spaces that I was just like, wow. I mean, like, it's levels to this, as the young folks say, and it's like, that's her story and she's sticking to it. We're here to critique and get you guys to open up and see beyond the veil. Stay out of the conversation on the racism and the black, and we trying to straighten our hair. Know your history. We've been straightening hair, stretching it, whatever y'all want to call it. We've been natural. That is not anything new.
And we understand. Let me ask you guys a question. You guys have seen James Brown in certain concerts with his hair would revert, and he started with. Was funking so much, boom, 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 that his hair began to revert, right? Did we say anything?
We just teased him.
No, we teased him on TV.
Right.
We didn't tease him to him. Right?
Right.
Right? We understand that we have our little inside jokes. We have our inside jokes. And we do appreciate them. We have our moments. But this is the time of change. We are in Project 2025. We cannot, and like Trevor Noah, we don't have the room in the insurance policy to FO. We FO, we just don't have the room for that. And in fact, we are smarter. We're more aware. We're more sophisticated. Of course we are. We are more aware.
Yeah.
And we have to do better.
Yeah. And we wanted to come through with the conversation and break down what she was saying, point by point, just to give you guys something to think about, because sometimes we forget, as my mother would say, don't act like you don't know where you came from. It's not, we not getting in the pool. We not going swimming because we don't want to get our hair wet. Say which people don't want to do that. And I know, we can all say not all folks, but I just think when you're of a person with that type of an influence, she should be the connector of those pieces so that we can see the bigger picture to move the needle. That Crown Act, that can pass. But if we keep sitting on these platforms talking the way we talking and forgetting about the power dynamics of why they even went there in the first place. We know what that length is all about. How you gonna tell a kid you gotta, like Cheryl said, you got a dress code requirement that says your hair can't touch the neck, right? So when he pent it up, they told him, "Oh, you gotta cut it off." And she on here talking like this, and y'all ain't saying nothing. What's wrong with y'all? We just gonna act like that don't mean nothing? We gonna keep saying, "Oh,"
and I even told the attorneys. I think we were. I don't know. Were we on the phone together? I even told the attorneys, cut it up, because at the end of the day, I don't want to go home and tell my prince that busts his ass to study and to do everything he's supposed to do and everything his mother asked him to do. We, as the adults, we have got to stomp this out in this generation. Because at the end of the day, this generation is going to be gone to even speak up for them.
Because they didn't even show up. No natural hair people didn't show up for that, guys. I didn't see that. For all the natural hair movement that's been rocking since 1998, 99 in Texas, it should have been more black people. We should have been on that like ugly on a monkey. Y'all wasn't even there. All these, what y'all call them, studio keyboard gangsters in the chats. Nobody wanted to buy a ticket, rent a hotel, posse up in the car. Nobody wanted to go there and rock down with that young man and help that young boy out. No attorneys wanted to volunteer, what they call that, pro bono, to make that situation a First Amendment. Y'all didn't want to do that. And they know what it's a power struggle. How you gonna tell a kid he got to cut his hair to meet the regulations? Come on now, dog. And y'all gonna tell me, "Oh, we don't know what else could we have written in the Crown Act?" Stop it. And we're gonna have the first lady who's married to a constitutional attorney not reach back and say, honey, now I'm sure. Come on, B. Come on, Baraki Waki. I know there's something we're missing in this piece of legislation. Can you help us? Baby, they on civil rights. Just tell them to go on and take it over to the First Amendment, because like Cheryl said, one person's amendment can't trump the other ones. Okay, come on, y'all. Come on, let's play ball. But no, we're gonna take the pander the conversation to some. Well, they just don't want us to wear. They want us to keep talking like that. Yeah, so y'all just keep talking.
Right. When you got Clarence Thomas looking at y'all like, change your hairstyle.
Oh, wait. We gonna act like Ketanji ain't sitting up at the where's she at? In the highest.
Right.
Ketanji Brown sitting up there with them sister locks. She ain't thinking about none what y'all say. Oh.
It's neat and professional. Because the highest court in the land, I mean, the look matters on the Supreme Court. What does she have? So don't tell me that a dress code in a little punk ass school in Texas can't get their shit together.
But y'all don't talk about that. We ain't gonna mention Ketanji's hair. We're gonna let Michelle Obama have this mundane conversation. She ain't even mentioned Ketanji. Oh, y'all going along with this. Just cause this is not us, y'all. You know what my mother used to call that? When you follow your friends and your mother would say, if he jump off the bridge,
you gonna jump?
Are you going with him? You gonna jump with him? That's all I'm gonna say on that conversation. Just because y'all gonna go along with the going on. Oh, well, you know what? See, Michelle. Oh, come on now. Y'all wouldn't let me say that. Y'all be all Ladosha, you so ghetto. Look at you. You just like you out. You look at her. She just unfollow. Remember the person came in the chat. This podcast needs to be shut down. We could never get away with that. We're just gonna ignore Ketanji Brown sitting up there in all her glory. Ain't not one. So how is it that we're not gonna mention that power struggle? That power. I'm sorry. The power dynamic.
They were so scared to even mention it. Though them, even when she was going through her confirmation, they were scared to mention it.
Mm.
Why?
Come on.
Because it's not appropriate.
That's right. This is what her father told her. He said to not be a follower, be a leader. She knows better. Now, that's not to say, like we're saying, that y'all said that's her experience. That is her experience, but that ain't what you do. You just it's just it's so many examples that we can give on that. So we'll play the last of it. And I think you guys, and it took us a while to land the plane because we're breaking the clip down and we're giving you our opinions, which are like cell phones. Apparently, nobody gives a flying flute fart about what Cheryl and I have to say about Michelle Obama's natural hair conversations, which these are some stranger things in these days because millions of people absolutely love it. Okay, so here we go. Here's the end.
The decision to get my hair braided was primarily a continuation of that freedom. You know, it's like a lot of people want to know, well, what do braids mean? What does she mean? Look, y'all, we
What
are
does she mean? It's
what, you know, I mean, that's how white folks are. It's like, what does that mean? What are you saying? We're saying nothing except I just don't want to have to do my hair every day. And I want to go swimming. I don't want to have to worry about it. Let me explain something to white people. Our hair comes out of our head naturally in a curly pattern. So when we're straightening it to follow your beauty standards, we are trapped by the straightness. That's why so many of us can't swim and we run away from the water. People won't go to the gym because we're trying to keep our hair straight for y'all. It is exhausting and it's so expensive and it takes up so much time. Braids are for y'all so we can work harder and focus on the work. So why do we need an act of law to tell white folks to get out our hair? Don't tell me how to wear my hair. Don't wonder about it. Don't touch it. Just don't.
All right. My boss sent me that clip. You know, we getting this hair braid up so we can work harder. People work hard with relaxers. People, hey, I took me and Cheryl joke all the time. If you guys go back in the 80s and look at our sisters running the Olympics, I'm talking about winning gold medals with pressing curls. That ain't got nothing to do with white folks, y'all. We call that black excellence. When we look at them glyphs, we know they didn't really look like that. But they was trying to depict excellence. You could drop the black. Remember, this is a human thing by any means necessary. If you are of any part of Africanity, whatever, I don't care what color you are, because we are all what? Africans. It is always, no excuses. I'm like P. Diddy, no bitch assness. It's excellence. So all this stuff she's saying is just out of order because we are excellent in we seen them people sit. How many of y'all watch Eyes on the Prize? Them black women sitting up there with them people, them dogs biting them, and they had what? Pressing curl. They weren't trying to be black. Power dynamics. They knew we gotta what? Play the fool to do what? Catch the motherfucking wise. Come on, y'all. Come on. That's what we do. Nobody wasn't trying to do all of that, and she knows it. She's a scholar, and she can have that conversation, but she should flip it because she could do that. She's got access. She knows it. Ain't nothing wrong. I could play all day about them projects, but I tell you what. When we got some receipts too. When we went in here and we talked to them people about this curly hair science bill, we weren't talking like that. We had to talk to these people like we were what? Scholars. Here they is right here. There we are.
That's right.
We were all the right people. You think we gonna get in there and tell this white man? Oh, lawmaker. We just got these issues. We just trying to braid our hair so we can work harder and get way for our. We not going in there talking like that. Come on. I ain't saying that, but it's a time. Well, okay. Here we go. The old sage, Big Bang Hank. It's a time to break and a time to chill, to act civilized, to act real ill. So whatever you do in your lifetime, you never let an MC steal your rhymes. That ain't what we do. You don't let nobody steal your stuff. Come on, Michelle, we better than that. If you gonna rock it, rock it. If you're gonna tell that story, tell it, but flip it over. Like BBD.
And say, this ain't everybody's experience, this ain't everybody's stuff, but this is whatever you need to do to be able to make sure that, because we all know, can a white woman or a white man curl their hair up to not make them white? Y'all, no ma'am.
No ma'am.
No sir. No. It's time.
And then you ain't no way I'm gonna be a person in that position and in that conversation talking about some get out of our hair. I'm gonna tell you this. I am for education. Mm-hmm. And when they came through in the state of Ohio and said we ain't gotta learn how to braid no hair, we don't need no education and no permit, we don't need none of that. Ain't no way I was gonna sit in front of them white folk and leave that room and say, well, because most Black people believe that braiding our hair, we came from slavery off the slave ships, and most of us already knew how to braid hair, so they right, that ain't what we do. That braiding, that whole career has infinite income earning potential that only education and access could take it to new heights. And because we use laws to advance, we know the power dynamics in the world of beauty. Absolutely. I tell you when you come through Ohio, guess what you got to have? I rest my case. So I can tell them same stories, but it's no way was I going to sit there and allow those braiders to be exploited by educated Black women and only want to pay them girls $200, $300 when them braid styles is worth every bit of $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 and they driving Mercedes Benz, walking around with Chanel on. Get me off this podcast. Come on now, y'all. Cut this bull crap out. We're talking about y'all balling in Paris. You don't see Cardi B crying about coughing up $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Oh, ain't no braider worth all that. That's what they do. And then the lady gonna pull me aside. You and Cheryl ain't the only one making This a Black woman representing the Institute for Justice asking me, just Latosha, can you just calm down? I know what you're saying is right. But the bulk of Black America is saying this in the Institute for Justice. Institute for Justice is representing chain salons that's controlling the way America should look. And it should not look like us. Y'all don't know that. You think I'm gonna sit in the room?
Right. So at the end of the day, Key Lolo. No, sis. You telling the truth, sis. You telling the truth. I just wanted to,
Y'all don't know.
Just fade.
That's what happened behind the scenes.
This is what we do.
I called Cheryl. She said, you and Cheryl ain't the only. She now in front of the white folks, she was like, I represent the Institute for Justice. When we got behind, she was like, you and Cheryl.
She went there.
What y'all think I did? Boo! Right back at you. No, ma'am. Not tonight. Not tonight. We're not pulling that black card. She gonna try to ask me to go with the black card for the white folk. You got me. Bye, Felicia.
Wait a minute. And those are just the lobbyists. And then in connection with the politicians, we ain't talking about the lawyers that obviously know that the Crown Act will never be case law. It'll never be case law. And so at the end of the day, hey, who am I? I mean, I'm just born in it, have a stake in it, have some skin in it. Ladosha is just This is her mission and her ministry. We didn't come to play.
Right.
And I'm not letting
right.
important people, influential people, like you said, with great acumen and a great
Mm-hmm.
platform.
Right. And we imitating them voices because that's how they think we are. They think we all bite, whatever. That's what they think. No. I mean, we got that. Some of us do, some of us don't. But that's how she came at me. She was in there like, then she came outside like, you ain't no real educated woman. You from the hood. I am. But we code switch. We know what we got to do.
Absolutely.
I was not going to go into the chambers acting like I know I'm from the hood and everybody in the hood don't talk like this. But she came like that because she thought. And since I'm from the hood, you know what we say, boo, ain't nothing between you and me but space and opportunity, what you want to do.
Right.
I can go either way. But that's what they try to do. Yeah, they try to play us like that. So, yeah, it ain't all like that. But we want y'all to know that conversation, you can have it, you can do it. But you need to move the needle and make something happen for your people. Y'all want that Crown Act to pass? If anybody can get that Crown Act to pass, it is Michelle Obama.
And pass to where it will make a difference. It will win lawsuits. It will win money. It will change and save people's employment. It will change the nature of how we in HR does treat employees and how school boards change the requirements on how really smart children, and just because they have a certain length of hair don't mean they can't learn, and it don't mean it what, because I ain't never been distracted by no white boy or white girl's hair.
Well,
I ain't never been distracted by anything they do with their hair. And all of a sudden, they would be distracted. No, you want to be distracted because you have the power to be distracted. And you have the power of your prejudice. You have power with your bias. And you have power. It's the dynamic. And the key to unlock my citizenship that my people have paid for many times over. More than we are a non-immigrant. We are not immigrants. For the 80% of ADOS black folks, we are non-immigrants. So at the end of the day, all we're asking, and I believe her family bloodline is non-immigrants. And all we're saying is, we're not saying don't be light and funny and fluffy and funny. And that's the time for that. But I believe we don't know how to have the conversation. And if we don't know how to have the conversation, let's get with the beauty industry and stop fooling around with them professors. Stop fooling around with all of those politicians. Stop fooling around with these marketing directors at these brands like Dove and Unilever and Procter & Gamble. Stop.
They don't. Yeah,
because they of the industry to gain the information that you need to create good policy. That's it.
Because at the end of the day, that the interesting thing about all this, when I say I know that she can do it, because if you follow the case of the young man in Texas, right? When you read the judge's, ruling why he went on ahead and said, no, y'all going somewhere with that. He threw him a bone. He told him what they didn't do.
The judge. And he didn't have to do that.
He didn't have to do that, y'all. He said the same thing that we're saying. Now don't cook it up. Look it up. And well, maybe you guys could have approached her with possibly getting involved with the Crown Act initiative as long as she doesn't see this video. Michelle Obama don't care nothing about us, trust me. And she done heard this and a little bit worse. I don't think she knows, because the people that she is around, see, when you're in that space, You know, you have people that give you stuff. You know, Michelle Obama. Like, what y'all want me to do? Well, you know, black women need some esteem boosting right about now. And you know, Michelle Obama, you got the. She said, okay, come on, y'all want me to write a book? I'll write a book. You know, that's what she got in her life. You know, she's Michelle Obama. She's the grand wizard. She got this. You know, somebody probably will tell her, but she just don't know. You know, I think she just doesn't know, and she probably is like, well, you know, that's what they gonna get it together, and that's why we're having.
I want to make one thing clear. I want to make one thing clear. What gave us the right to vote? I want you guys to, if y'all can just put it, and one or two of you can answer. Trish, Yate, what gave us the right to vote? What act was that?
We are about to go online and Google it.
I will Google it. I don't care. It just what act gave black people the right to vote? What act was that? No,
okay, nobody knows.
Okay, nobody knows. Okay.
No.
The 14th, 13th, and 14th Amendment. Why did we need a statutory right to vote? Why did we need the Voters Act? We were citizens, right? Do immigrants come here and need an act to vote, or do when they become a citizen of the United States, they can vote and participate in the institution of this country? Yes or no?
Yes.
Maybe you, okay? So why did black people need a statutory right to vote? Why did we need a Voters' Right Act? And the answer would be we didn't. That's something they did. Now, the great mystery is why. Now, do black people need the Crown Act? Because first of all, and just to all of those who are listening and still with us, I am not pro-Crown Act. I am not pro-Crown Act. I am pro-Constitution. I am pro-Constitution. Why? But if you guys can go into your family trees, I don't know the nature of your how you guys, your families came to this country, but the citizenship of your presence gives you the right to enact freedom of expression, religious freedoms, cultural freedoms. They allow certain religious regalia and uniforms and things that, you know, people can go to school and wearing a hammock or a payo or a, you know, all of the things that they wear in their religious faith. But for some reason, we want to be able to wear locks, or my little boys or little girls wears certain things. For some reason, we can't get past those silver rights. We just can't help ourselves. We got to always statutorily do something over instead of dealing with. And one of the things that I don't understand is because she's a lawyer. I just don't understand why she would not naturally dovetail into the Crown Act. But I'm not promoting for her to deal with the Crown Act because I'm not pro-Crown Act. Mm-hmm. Just to make that clear.
But she was on it. So she was on that tip. You know, she spoke on it. I would just say, to me, you know, my daddy say, when I complained about my job, right? I said, you know, when I was outreach worker, they treat people wrong, and they just using black kids to get money, and they don't understand, the people at the top don't understand how outreach workers, we got to wear basil leaves so roaches don't get in our bags. And I was just complaining about what the management and the company was not doing. And when I got finished complaining, my father said, well, you know, baby cakes, if you ain't part of the solution, you're part of the problem. But what that say about you? It must be just like them. You know, so I quit my job so I can help people to learn how to love themselves through their hair and not depend on outside forces. Okay, so that's what it's like. Yeah, girl, that what basil leaves, put them in your clothes. Outreach workers would tell you, keep the roaches away, baby. Put them in your briefcase. It works like a charm. Okay, now if you got roaches in your house, that's a whole nother conversation, but they will keep them out your bags and they won't crawl on you. It's true. We used to pick basil leaves and stuff, but that's in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? I love that stuff. I just got to get in the trenches. I ain't scared of no roach though, by the way. So anywho, this has been a dynamic podcast. You guys, y'all got to be as crazy as us. That's all I want to say. I love everybody in this chat. Y'all some gangsters, man. I would tell y'all right now. Y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of y'all just some gangsters. Y'all some raw dog. Y'all like, come on, we ain't scared. Y'all like, what's his name? DMX. They don't know that. Y'all go put that. Y'all put some DMX on. You talking about the y'all some no limit soldiers. I thought I told you. We appreciate our no limit soldiers, our DMX. They don't know who we be. You guys, we love the opposing opinions, and of course, we love Michelle Obama, but we just had to, spank that wank on this situation. She is going to continue to go on to do great things. Yes. And we thank you guys. We're going to be back next week. All right. On Monday. And we're going to continue the discussion about the Stranger Things. But this time we're going to take the Stranger Things. I tell you, these be pretty good. The next one that we're going to talk about is going to be, can Afro hair be heat trained? All right. Come on now, y'all. This is one. I know y'all like, we gotta talk about it. We try to get, y'all getting us in the algorithms. I think we're up to almost 3,200 subscribers. So y'all keep this going. Y'all getting us in the algorithms, all of this conversation back and forth. So we're going to be back here on Monday, and we're going to talk about, can Afro hair be heat trained? Can you train it with the curls? You know how you want your curls to last, you flat on it. Can you heat train Afro hair? That's what we want to know. And they're going to be back on here. We got a special mystery guest. We're trying to get a speaker that's coming in from London. And so I spoke with her today. We may have to change the time because London is about 4 hours ahead of us. So we will have to change that time. So I'm waiting on her to get back with us. So we're going to talk to a sister from over what they call it in the pond, to talk about cosmetology and hairdressing as we wrap that series up. And again, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button on your way out. Our virtual co-host, Wike, and Sandra. Hey, Sandra, you're the best. We will be here Thursday, but we're probably going to be here earlier. We will let you guys know. If not, we'll keep the conversation going. If she can't, we'll catch her. Michelle Allen, it's nice for you to come through and grace us with your presence. Instagram, y'all was on fire. Instagram was, they came through with the studies. Black folks ain't playing out. I love y'all. Everybody black today, okay? All right. Okay, Cheryl. Closing thoughts, or we're done. What you want to say as we wrap this up?
I mean, thanks, guys, for just the whole dialogue is what's needed. And I know that maybe we take it more serious than most people.
I know they're like, don't you just get out? Calm down, Keelala.
Yeah, I know. It's very serious because we want, and I want to stop it while I am here.
Right. Yeah. I just know that, I worked in outreach. So I see the psychological effects, in the salon. Yes. I just see it, when people come in, my hair damaged and they ready to just shut out all this money. I mean, y'all, it's sad. It's to me, it's like in epidemic proportions, of how, it's just, so it's passionate because I'm still behind the chair and I see what's happening to our brothers and sisters. We got mothers with 3 or 4 kids and they trying to pay to get this added hair. It's out of control, trying to fit what black hair looks like, and they don't want to let the kids, wear their own hair braided, and because it costs too much. And they done bought it. So I just see that's why I'm so passionate, y'all, trying to help, help our young parents and families out. And, not to say it's just hair, but it is. It's just hair, y'all.
Well, it's
Y'all
going to
forgive
be
me.
yeah, if we're going to be going to the political body and we're going to be going to move things and create organizations and try to raise money and try to create some semblance of this great industry that it started, and it is intended to enrich Black people. It's intended to enrich entrepreneurs. It's intended to be able to be such a fruitful ground of wealth, of opportunity. We can't even get the messaging right to be able to make this and to, like you said, social re-engineer the future and to create the optimism. We need to be able to stop talking about the things that we experience as it pertains to our Africanness and our Blackness and our Black Americanness. We just got to really get that conversation together to where it generates places of honor and it allows us to move forward.
Yeah, and not go into the house of Chanel wearing fake Chanel. Y'all know what I'm saying? I won't have to try to bring it on. Did I do good with that one? And I ain't saying I'm just saying, if you're gonna come into the house of Chanel, at least you got to put on some real Chanel, okay? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, guys. I love Eleanor. There you go. Iron shopping, Arnie. You guys definitely help us be better. If you're watching this post live, feel free drop your comments in the chat. We love to hear from you. Oh, and if some of y'all, if y'all know Michelle Obama, talk to her. What's up, Michelle? How you doing, boo? All right, guys. We say we're signing out. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up button on your way out. Share this live with somebody. Like, girl, them hairstylists over there. That's America's favorite podcast about Afro hair. They're a little bit too passionate. Key Lolo be over there. She be on that Black Power, that socialist shit.
Yeah,
those are socialists.
Get that conversation right.
I know. Okay. All right. Y'all know what we say when we're signing out, right? We're talking about a whole lot of peace, a whole lot of love, and a whole lot of hair. But check it out. If you ain't got it, don't want it. Case then you got some bald patches here. You plan on cutting it off because hair ain't your thing anyway. You know what we say. Don't even worry about it because all that's beautiful too. And so are you. Deuces. See you guys on Thursday. Cheryl.
Oh, man, you rocked it.
Oh, wrong one. Here we go. This is the right one.
Bye.
Sure, you ready for the chit chat tonight?
I'm ready.
Bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make Black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now,
We're coming, get our check.
Cheryl Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
It was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your name. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips.